Hi, I'm back. I'll be reading chapter 20 of this book, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Chapter 20, Hagrid's Tale. Harry sprinted up to the boys' dormitory to fetch the to fetch the to fetch the to fetch the invisibility cloak and the Marauder's map from his trunk. He was so quick that he and Ron ready to leave at least 5 minutes before Hermione hurried back down from the girls' dormitories wearing scarf, gloves, and one of her own knobby elf hats. Well, it's cold out there, she said defensively as Ron clicked his tongue impatiently. They crept through the portrait hole and covered themselves hastily in the cloak. Ron had grown so much. Ron had grown so much he now needed to crouch to prevent his feet showing. Then, moving slowly and cautiously, they proceeded down the many staircases, pausing at intervals to check the map for signs of Filch or Miss Norris. They were lucky; they saw nobody but nearly headless Nick, who was gliding along absent-mindedly, humming something that sounded horribly like Weasley is our king. They crept across the entrance hall and then out into the silent, snowy grounds. With a great leap of his heart, Harry saw little golden squares alight ahead and smoke coiling up from Hagrid's chimney. He set off at a quick march, the other two jostling and bumping along behind him, and they plunged excitedly through the thickening snow until at last they reached the wooden front door. When Harry raised his fist and knocked 3 times, a dog started barking frantically inside. Inside. Hagrid, it's us, Harry called through the keyhole. Should have known, said a gruff voice. They beamed at one another under the cloak. They could tell that Hagrid's voice was pleased. Been home 3 seconds. Out the way, Fang, out the way. Ye dozy dog. The bolt was drawn back, the door creaked open, and Hagrid's head appeared in the gap. Hermione screamed, Marlin's beard. Keep it down, said Hagrid hastily, staring widely over their heads. Under the cloak, are ye? Well, get in, get in. I'm sorry, Hermione gasped as the three of them squeezed past Hagrid into the house and pulled the cloak off themselves so he could see them. Oh, Hagrid. It's nothing, said Hagrid hastily, shutting the door behind them and hurrying to close all the curtains. But Hermione continued to gaze up at him in horror. Hagrid's hair was matted with congealed blood, and his left eye had been reduced to a puffy slit amid a mass of purple and black bruises. There were many cuts on his face and hands, some of them still bleeding, and he was moving gingerly, which made Harry suspect broken ribs. It was obvious that he had only just got home. A thick black traveling cloak lay over the back of a chair, and a heaver sack large enough to carry several small children leaned against the wall inside the door. Hagrid himself, twice the size of a normal man and 3 times as broad, was now limping over to the fire and placing a copper kettle over it. Over it. What happened to you? Harry demanded. Wirefang danced around them all, trying to lick their faces. Their faces. Told ya. Nothing, said Hagrid firmly. Want a cuppa? Come off it, said Juan. You are in a white state. I'm telling ya. I'm telling ya. I'm fine, said Hagrid, straightening up and turning to beam at them all for wincing blindly. It's good to see you three again. Had good summers, did ya? Hagrid, you have been attacked, said Juan. For the last time, it's nothing, said Hagrid firmly. Would you say it was nothing if one of us turned up with a pound of mice instead of a face? Swan demanded. You ought to go and see Madame Puffy, Hagrid, said Hermione anxiously. Some of those cuts look nasty. I'm dealing with it, all right, said Hagrid repressively. He walked across to the enormous wooden table that stood in the middle of his cabin and and twins and twixt and twist and just and just aside a tea towel that had been laying on it. Underneath, he saw a raw, bloody, green tinge steak, slightly larger than the average car tire. You are not going to eat that, are you, Hagrid? Said Ron, leaning in for a closer look. It looks poisonous. It's supposed to look like that. It's dragon meat, Hagrid said, and I didn't, and I didn't get it to eat. He picked up the steak and slapped it over the left side of his face. Greenish blood trickled down into his throat as he gave a soft moan of satisfaction. That's better. It helps with the stinging, you know. So are you going to tell us what's happened to you? Harry asked. Can't, Harry. Top secret. More me. Mommy, Mommy Jobsworth, Jobsworth, T-E-R, tell you that. Did the giants beat you up, Hagrid? Asked Hermione quietly. Hagrid's finger slipped on the dragon's stake and it slid scripturally onto his chest. Giants, said Hagrid, catching the stake before it reached his throat and slapping it back over his face. Who said anything about giants? About giants? Who ya been talking to? Who's told ya what I have? What I have? Who said I have been he? We got ceremony apologetically. Oh yeah, did. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, did. Did ya? Said Hagrid, surveying her sternly with the eye that was not hidden by the stake. It was kind of obvious, said one. Harry nodded. Hagrid glared at them, then snorted, threw the stake onto the table again, and strode back to the corridor, which was now whistling. Never known kids like you three, for knowing more than ya ought, he muttered, splashing boiling water into three of his bucket-shaped mugs. And not and I am not complimenting ya neither. Noise, noisy. Some call it interfering, but it's spirit twitch. So you, so you have. So you happen to look for giants, said Harry, grinning as he sat down at the table. Hagrid set tea in front of each of them, sat down, picked up his stick again, and slapped it back over his face. Yeah, all right, he grunted. I have. And you found them, said Hermione in a hushed voice. They are not that difficult to find. To find. T-E-R, be honest, said Hagrid. Pretty big, see. Where are they? Said one. Mountains, said Hagrid unhelpfully. So, why didn't Muggles they do, said Hagrid darkly. Oh, and their desks are always put put down, T.E. Mountaineering accident on it. He adjusted the stake a little so that it covered the walls of the bruising. Come on, Hagrid. Tell us what you have been up to, so on. Tell us about being attacked by the giants, and Harry can tell you about being attacked by the Dementors. Hagrid choked in his mug and dropped his stake at the same time. At the same time, a large quantity of spit tea and dragon blood was sprayed over the table as Hagrid coughed and spluttered, and the stick slid with a soft splat onto the floor. What do ye mean? Ye mean attacked by Dementors, growled Hagrid. Didn't you know, Hermione asked him wide-eyed. I don't know anything that's been happening since I left. I was on a secret mission, wasn't I? Didn't want didn't want didn't want owls following me all over the place. Rudy Dementors, ye not serious? Yeah, I am. They turned up in little WHING and attacked my cousin and me, and then the Ministry of Magic expelled me. What? And I had to go to a hearing and everything. But tell us about the giants first. You were expelled. Tell us about your summer, and I'll tell you about mine. Hagrid glared at him through his one open eye. Harry looked right back, an expression of innocent determination on his face. Oh, all right, Hagrid said in a resigned voice. He bent down and tugged the dragon stake out of Fang's mouth. Oh, Hagrid, don't. It's not hygiene, Hermione began. But Hagrid had already slapped the meat back over his swollen eye. He took another fortifying gulp of tea and then said, well, we set off white. After tormented Madame, Maxime went with you then, Hermione interjected. Yeah, that's right, said Hagrid, and a softened expression appeared on the few inches of face that was not obscured by beard or green stake. The green stake, yeah. It was just the pair of us, and I would tell ya this. She's not afraid of roughing it. OLYMPE. Yeah, no, she's a fine, well-dressed woman, and knowing where she was going, I wonder how she'd feel about clambering over boulders and sleeping in caves, and that, but she never complained once. You knew where you were going, Harry repeated. You knew where the giants were? Well, Dumbledore knew. And he told us, said Hagrid. Are they hidden? asked Ron. Is it a secret where they are? No, really, said Hagrid, shaking his waggy head. It's just that most wizards aren't bothered where they are so long as it's a good long way away. But where they are is very difficult, very difficult to get T-E-R. F-E-R humans anyway. So we needed Dumbledore's instructions. Took us about a month. T-E-R, get there, a month. So on as though he had never heard of a journey lasting such a ridiculously long time. But why couldn't you Just grab a porky or something. There was an odd expression in Hagrid's unobscured eye as he surveyed Ron. It was almost pitying. We were being watched, Ron, he said gruffly. What do you mean? What do you mean? You don't understand, said Hagrid. The Ministry's keeping an eye on Dumbledore and anyone they reckon's in league with him, and we know about that, said Harry quickly, keen to hear the rest of Hagrid's story. We know about the Ministry watching Dumbledore. So you couldn't use magic to get there, asked Ron, looking thunderstruck. You had to act like muggles all the way. Well, not actually all the way, said Hagrid cagily. We just had TER. Be careful. Cuz, OLYM, Emmy, we stick out a bit. One made a stiffer noise somewhere between a snort and a sniff and hastily took a gulp of tea. A gulp of tea. We are not, so we are not hard tea fellow. We was pretending we was going on holiday together. So we got INTER friends, and we made like we was heading for where OLYMP Protestant School is, cause we know we was being tailed by someone from the Ministry. We had to go slow, cause I am not really supposed to use magic, and we knew the Ministry be looking for a reason to one to one T1 us in, but we managed to give the book trailing us the slip a round about DEEJOHN AOOOOHDDIGON, said Hermione excitedly. I have been there on holiday. Did you see? She fell silent at the look on Ron's face. We chanced a bit of magic after that, and it wasn't a bad journey. Ran into a couple of matrons on the Polish border, and I had a slight disagreement with a vampire in a pub in Minsk. But apart from that, couldn't couldn't a been smoother. And then we reached the place, and we started trucking up through the mountains looking for signs of them. For signs of them. And we had to lay off the magic once we got near them, partly 'cause they don't like wizards, and we didn't want want TER put their put their backs up too soon, and partly because Dumbledore had warned us you know who was bound TER be after the giants and all said it was odd. It was odd. On he odds. On he'd sent a messenger after them already told us TERB. Very careful drawing attention TER ourselves as we got nearer in case there was Death Eaters around. Hagrid paused for a long draught of tea. Go on, said Harry, urgently. Found them, said Hagrid boldly. Went over a ridge one night, and there they were. there they was, spread, spread, spread OU underneath us, little fires burning below, and huge shadows. It it was like watching bitch. Oh, the mountains moving. How big are they? Asked Ron in a hushed voice. About 20 feet, said Hagrid casually. Some, oh, the bigger ones might have been 25. 25. And how many were there? Asked Harry. I reckon about 70 or 80, said Hagrid. Is that all? Said Hermione. Yep, said Hagrid sadly. 80 left. 80 left. And there was loads more. Must have been 800 different tribes from all over the world, but they have been dying out for ages. Wizards killed a few, of course, but mostly they killed each other, and now they are they are dying out faster than ever. Than ever. They are not made. They are not made. TER. Live. Bunched up together like that. Dumbledore says it's our fault. It was the wizards who forced them to go and made them live a good long way from us from us, and they had no choice but to stick together for their own protection. So said Harry, you saw them, and then what? Well, we waited till morning, didn't want TER go sneaking up on them in the dark for our own safety, said Hagrid. About 3 in the morning, they fell asleep just where they were sitting. We didn't dare sleep. For one thing, we wanted TER. Make sure none of them woke up and came up came up where we were, and for another, the snowing was unbelievable, and caused an avalanche near morning. Anyway, once it was light, we went down TER, see them, just like that. Someone looking awestruck. You just walked right into a giant camp. A giant camp. Well, Dumbledore told us how. TER do it, said Hagrid. Give the GURG gift. Show some respect, Give the what gifts, asked Hagrid, or the GURG means the chief. How could you tell which one was the GURG? Asked Ron. Hagrid grunted in amusement. No problem, he said. He was the biggest, the ugliest, and the laziest, sitting there waiting. Be brought food by the others, dead goats, and such like. Name KARKUS. I put him at 23 feet, and the weight of a couple of bull elephants. Skin like rhino hide, and all. And you just walked up to him, said Hermione breathlessly. Well, down, TER him. He was lying in the valley. They was in the step between four pretty high mountain sea beside a mountain lake. And KARKUS was lying by the lake roaring at the other TER feed him a-n, his wife, Olympe, and I went down the mountainside. But didn't they try and kill you when they saw you? Asked one inquisitively. It was definitely on some of the minds that Hagrid shrugging. But we did what Dumbledore told us TER do, which was TER hold our get up high, and keep our eyes on the GURG and ignore the others. So that's what we did, and the rest of them went quiet and watched us pass, and we got we got right up TERKARKU upon his feet, and we bowed and put our present down in front of him. In front of him. What did you give a giant? Asked Ron eagerly. Food? Nah, he can get food. All right, FER himself, said Hagrid. We took him magic giants like magic. Just don't just don't like us using it against them anyway. That FIRS day we gave him a branch. Oh, GUBRAITHIAN fire. Hermione said well softly, but Harry and Ron both frowned in puzzlement. A branch of everlasting fire, said Hermione irritably. You ought to know that by now. Professor Flitwick mentioned it at least twice in class. Well, anyway, said Hagrid quickly, interfering before Ron could answer back. Dumbledore bewitched this branch to burn evermore, which isn't something any wizard could do, and so I lies it down in the snow by KARKU as part of his feet and says a gift to the GURG, the giants from Albus Dumbledore, who sends his respectful greetings, and what did KARKUS say? Asked Harry eagerly. Nothing, said Hagrid. Didn't speak English. You're kidding. Didn't matter, said Hagrid importantly. Dumbledore had warned us that might happen. KARKUS knew enough to yell. FERA, a couple. Oh, giants who knew. LINGO, and they translated for us. And did he like the present? Asked one. Oh yeah, it went down. It went down a storm once they understood what it was that Hagrid turning his dragon stake to over over to press the cooler side to his swollen eye. Very pleased. So then I said Albus Dumbledore asked the GURG to speak with his messenger when he returns tomorrow with another gift. Why couldn't you speak to them that day? Asked Hermione. Dumbledore wanted us TR. Take it very slow, said Hagrid. Let let them see. Let them see we kept our promises. We will come back tomorrow with another present, and then we do come back with another present. Gives a good impression. See, and gives them time to test out to test out the first present and find out it's a good one and get them eager for more. In any case, giants like KARKUS overload them with information, and they will kill. Yeah, and they will kill. Yeah, just to simplify things. So we bowed out of the way and we went off and found ourselves a nice little cave to spend that night in. And the following morning we went back and this time we found KARKUS sitting around waiting for us looking all eager. And you talked to him? Oh yeah. First, we presented him with a nice powder helmet, goblin made and indestructible, And then we sat down and we talked. We talked. What did he say? Not much, said Hagrid. Listen mostly. But there were good signs. Oh, Dumbledore, hard. He'd argued against the killing of the last giants in Britain. KARKUS seemed to be quite interested in what Dumbledore had to say, and a few of the and a few of the others, especially the ones who 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 had who had some English. They gathered around and listened too. We were hopeful when we left that day. That day. Promised TER come back next day with another present. But that night it all went wrong. What do you mean? Said Ron quickly. Well, like I say, they are not. They are not meant. TER live together. Giants, said Hagrid sadly. No, not in big groups like that. They can't help themselves. They kill. They have killed each other every few weeks. The men fight each other, and the women fight each other. The remnants of the old tribes fight each other, and that and that's even without squabbles over food and the best fires and sleeping spots. You think, seeing as how the whole race is about finished. They lay off each other, but Hagrid sighed deeply. That night a fight broke out. We saw it from the mouth of our cave, looking down on the valley. Went on, FER hours. YEL wouldn't believe the noise, and when the sun came up, the snow was scarlet, and his head was lying at the bottom of the lake. Whose head? Gasped Hermione. KARKUS, Claudius, said Hagrid heavily. There was a new GURG, GOLGOMATH. He sighed deeply. We hadn't bargained on a new GURG 2 days after we made friendly contact with the first one, and we had a funny feeling. A funny feeling. GOLGOMATH wouldn't be so keen. TER listen to us, but but we but we had TER try. You went to speak to him as Ron inquisitively after you watched him whip off another giant's head. Course we did, said Hagrid. We hadn't gone all that way. TR give up after 2 days. We went down with the next present. We we meant we meant TER give TERKARKUS. I know it was no good before I opened me mouth. He was sitting there wearing KARKUS Parker's helmet, glaring at us as we got nearer. He's massive. He's massive. One, oh, the the biggest ones there. Black hair and matching teeth and a necklace of bones. Human human looking human looking bones. Some of them well. I gave it a go, held out a great roll of dragon skin and said a gift for the GURG other giants. Next thing I knew, I was hanging upside down in the air by me feet. Two of his mates had grabbed me. Hermione clapped her hands to her mouth. To her mouth. How did you get out of that? Asked Harry. When it done. If LOMOLYMPE hadn't been there, said Hagrid. She pulled out her wand and did some of the fastest spell work I have seen. Ever seen. Rudy marvelous. Hit the two hit hit the two guard hit the two holding me wide in the eye with CONJUNCTIVITUS curses, and they dropped me straight away. But we were in trouble then, cause we use magic against them, and that's what giants hate about wizards. We had ter like it, and we knew there was no way we were going ter be able ter match INTER camp again. Blimey, Hagrid, said Ron quietly. So how come it's taken you so long to get home? If you were only there for 3 days, asked Hermione. We didn't leave. After 3 days, Hagrid, looking outraged. Dumbledore was relying on us, but you have just said there was no way you could go back. Not by daylight. We couldn't. No, we couldn't. No, we just had ter. We think of it. Spent a couple of days lying low in the cave and watching, and what we saw wasn't good. Did he whip off more heads? Asked Hermione, sounding squeamish. No, said Hagrid. I wish he had. What do ya mean? I mean, we soon found out he didn't. He didn't object. Object. TER all wizards just us. Death Eater, said Harry quickly. Yep, said Hagrid doggedly. A couple of them were visiting him every day, bringing gifts. T-E-R, the G-U-R-G, and he wasn't dangling them upside down. Upside down? How do you know? They were Death Eaters, said Ron, 'cause I recognized one of them, Hagrid growled. Macnair. Remember him? Bloke. They sent, bloke. They sent to T-E-R, kill. Buckbeak. Maniac, he is. Likes killing as much as Golgomath. No wonder they were getting on so well. So Macnair Potpierces persuaded the giants to join you know who, said Hermione desperately. Hold ye hypocrites. I haven't finished me story yet, said Hagrid. Additionally, who, considering he had not wanted to tell them to tell them anything in the first place, now seemed to be rather enjoying himself. Me, Anolympe talked it over, and we'd agreed. JUS, cause the GURG look like favoring you know who. Didn't mean all of them would. We had TEPR try and persuade some. Oh, the others, the ones who hadn't wanted GOMATH as GURG. So how could you tell which ones they were? Asked Ron. Well, they were the ones been beating to a pulp, weren't they? Said Hagrid patiently. The ones with any sense were keeping out of GOMAT Potter's way, hiding out in caves. ROUN, the gully, just like we were. So we decided we go poking round the caves by night and see if we couldn't persuade a few of them. You were poking around dark caves, looking for giants, asked Ron with all respect in his voice. Well, it wasn't the giants who worried us most, said Hagrid. We were more concerned about the Death Eaters. Dumbledore had told us before we were not to tangle with them if we could avoid it, and the trouble was they knew we was around. We was around. SPECT GOLGOMATH told him about us at night when the giants were sleeping, and we wanted TER be creeping into the caves. MACNAR, and the other one were sneaking round the mountains looking for us. I was hard put to stop OLYMPE jumping out at them, said Hagrid, the corners of his mouth lifting his wire bill. She was wearing Ter attacked them. She's something when she's roused. Olympe. Fairy, you know. Expected the French in her. Hagrid gazed misty-eyed into the fire. Harry allowed him 30 seconds from a sense before clearing his throat loudly. So, what happened? Did you ever get near any of the other giants? The other giants? What? Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, on the third night after Karkus was killed, we crept out of the cave. We've been hiding in and headed back down in headed back down. INTR the gully, keeping our eyes skinned for the Death Eaters. For the Death Eaters. Got inside a few. Oh, the cage. No go. Then in about the sixth one, we found three giants hiding cave. Must have been cramped, said one. Wasn't room. T.R. Swing. Kneazle, said Hagrid. Didn't they attack you when they saw you? Asked Hermione. Probably would have done if they been in any condition, said Hagrid. But they was badly hurt. All three of them. GOLGOMAT, Potter's lot, had beaten them unconscious. They woken up and cried and called. INTER, the nearest shelter they could find. Anyway. One of them had a bit of English, ANE, translated FER, the others. And what? We had TER say, didn't seem TER go down to Bali, so we kept going back visiting the wounded. I reckon we had about 6 or 7 of them convinced at one point. 6 or 7, said one equally. Well, that's not bad. Are they going to come over here and start fighting? You know who with us? But Hermione said. What do you mean? At one point, Hagrid. Hagrid looked at her sadly. GOLGOMAT. Potter's lot waited the case. The ones that survived didn't want no more TER to do with us after that. So there aren't any giants coming, to one looking disappointed. Nope, said Hagrid, heaving a deep sigh as he turned over his stick again and applied the cooler side to his face. But we did what we meant TER do. We gave them Dumbledore's message, and some of them heard it, and I suspect some. Oh oh them oh they them well. Remember it, just maybe. Them that didn't want TER stay around. GOLGOMAT, Potter's LL. Moo. Outer. the mountains, and there's gotta be a chance they will. Remember, Dumbledore's friendly to them. Could be they will come. They will come. Snow was filling up the window now. Harry became aware that the knees of his robes were soaked with pain. Was drooling with his head in Harry's lap. Hagrid said Hermione quietly after a while. Did you? Were there any signs of? Did you hear anything about your mother while you were there? You were there. Edward's unobscure eye rested upon her, and Hermione looked rather scared. I'm sorry, I forgot it. Dead, Hagrid grunted. Died years, died years ago. They told me. Oh, I'm really sorry, said Hermione in a very small voice. Small voice. Hagrid shrugged his massive shoulders. No need, he said shortly. Can't remember how much. Wasn't a great mother. They were silent again. Hermione glanced nervously at Harry and won. Plainly wanting them to speak, but you still haven't explained how you got in this state. Hagrid once said, gesturing toward Hagrid's blood-stained face, or why you are you are back so late, said Harry. Sirius said, Madame, I am a got back ages ago. Who attacked you? So on. I haven't been attacked, said Hagrid emphatically. I. But the rest of his words were drowned in a sudden outbreak of rapping on the door. Hermione gasped. Her mug slipped through her fingernails and smashed on the floor. Fang yelped. All four of them stared at the window beside the doorway. The shadow of someone small and square rippled across the thin curtain. It's her, Ron whispered. Get under here, Harry said quickly, seizing the invisibility cloak. He rolled it over himself and Hermione. Wire one tore around the table and dived beneath the cloak as well. Huddled together, they backed away into a corner. Fang was barking madly at the door. Hagrid looked thoroughly confused. Hagrid, hide our mugs. Hagrid seized Harry's and Ron's mugs and shoved them under the cushion in Fang's basket. Fang was now leaping up at the door. Hagrid pushed him out of the way with his foot and pulled it open. Professor Umbridge was standing in the doorway wearing her green tree cloak and a matching hat with air flaps. Lips pursed. She leaned back so as to see Hagrid's face. She barely reached his navel. So she said slowly and loudly, as though speaking to somebody deaf. You are Hagrid, are you? Without waiting for an answer, she strolled into the room, her bulging eyes rolling in every direction. Get away, she snapped, waving her handbag at Fang, who had bounced up to her and was attempting to lick her face. Eeyore, I don't want Ter be rude, said Hagrid, staring at her. But who the woody hell are you? My name is Dolores Umbridge. Umbridge. Her eyes were sweeping the cabin twice. They stared directly into the corner where Harry stood sandwiched between Ron and Hermione. Dolores, which Hagrid said, sounding thoroughly confused. I thought you were one of the minister. Don't you work with Fudge? With Fudge? I was senior undersecretary to the minister, yes, said Umbridge, now pacing around the cabin, taking in every teeny, de- teeny detail within, from the haversack against the wall to the abandoned traveling cloak. I am now the defense against the dark arts teacher. That's brave of you, said Hagrid. There's not many. There's not many. There's not many take that job anymore in Hogwarts. Hi. INQUISITOR, said Umbridge, giving no sign that she had heard him. What's that? Said Hagrid, frowning. Precisely what? I was going to ask, said Umbridge, pointing at the broken shards of china on the floor that had been Hermione's mug. Oh, said Hagrid, with the most unhelpful glance toward the corner where Harry, Ron, and Hermione stood hidden. That was well, that was Fang. He broke a mountain, so I had to use this one instead. Hagrid pointed to the mug from which he had been drinking. One hand still clamped over the dragon stake pressed to his eye. Umbridge stood facing him now, taking in every detail of his appearance instead of the cabins. I heard voices, she said quietly. I was talking T.E.R. Fang, said Hagrid stupidly. And was he talking back to you? Well, in a matter of speaking, said Hagrid, uncomfortable and looking uncomfortable. Looking uncomfortable. I sometimes say things near enough human. There are 3 sets of footprints in the snow leading from the castle door to your cabin, said Umbridge sleekly. Hermione gasped. Harry clapped a hand over her mouth. Luckily, Finn was sniffing loudly around the hem of Professor Umbridge's robes, and she did not appear to have heard. Well. I only just got back, said Hagrid, waving an enormous hand at the haversack. Maybe somebody came, T.E.R. called earlier, and I missed them. There are no footsteps leading away from your cabin door. Well, I don't know why. That be, said Hagrid, tugging nervously at his beard, and again glancing toward the cabin, toward the corner where Harry, Ron, and Hermione stood as though asking for help. E.R.M. Umbridge wheeled around and strode the length of the cabin, looking around carefully. She bent and peered under the bed. She opened Hagrid's cupboard boards. She passed within 2 inches of where Harry, Ron, and Hermione stood pressed against the wall. Harry actually pulled in his stomach as she walked by. After looking carefully inside that enormous cauldron Hagrid used for cooking, she wheeled around again and said, "What has happened to you? How did you sustain those injuries?" Hagrid hastily removed the dragon stick from his face, which in Harry's opinion was a mistake, because the black and purple bruising all around his eye was now clearly visible, not to mention the large amount of fresh and congealed blood on his face. Oh, I had a bit of an accident, he said lamely. He said lamely. What sort of accident? I tripped. You tripped? She repeated coolly. Yeah, that's right. Over. A friend's broomstick. I don't fly myself. Well, look at the size of me. I don't reckon there's a broomstick that hold me. Friend of mine breeds Abraxan horses. I don't know if you ever you ever seen them big beast winged. You know I I had a bit of a ride on one of them, and it was, where have you been? As Umbridge cutting coolly through Hagrid's and through Hagrid's babbling, where where I blubbering, where have I been? Yes, she said. Tom started more than 2 months ago. Another teacher has had to cover your classes. None of your colleges has been able to give me any information as to your whereabouts. You left no address. Where have you been? Where have you been? There was a pause in which Hagrid stared at her. With his newly uncovered eye, Harry could almost hear his brain working furiously. I have been away. For me health, he said. For your health? Repeated Umbridge, her eyes traveling over Hagrid's discolored and swollen face. Dragon blood dripped, 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 dripped gently onto his waistcoat. In the silence, I see, yes, said Hagrid. Bit, fresh air, yes. As gamekeeper, yes, as gamekeeper, fresh air must be so difficult to come by, said Umbridge sweetly. The small patch of Hagrid's face that was not black or purple flushed. Well, change, scene. Yeah, no. Mountains, anyway, said Umbridge briefly. She knows, Harry thought desperately. Mountains, Hagrid repeated, clearly thinking fast. No, south of, south, uh, uh, south of, France, F-E-R-M-E. Been, bit. Oh, sun and sea, really, said Umbridge. You you don't have much of a tan. Yeah, well, sensitive skin, said Hagrid, and radiating smile. Harry noticed that two of his teeth had been knocked out. Umbridge looked at him coldly. His smile faltered. Then she hoisted her handbag a little higher into the trunk of her arm and said, I shall, of course, be informing the minister of your late return. Right, said Hagrid, nodding. You ought to know, too. That is high. INQUISITOR. It is my unfortunate but necessary duty to inspect my fellow teachers. So I dare say we shall meet again soon enough. She turned softly and marched back to the door. You are inspecting us, Hagrid repeated blankly, looking after her. Looking after her. Oh, yes, said Umbridge softly, looking back at him with her hand on the door handle. The ministry is determined minded to weed out unsatisfactory teachers, Hagrid. Good night. Good night. She left, closing the door behind her with a snap. Harry made to pull off the invisibility cloak, but Hermione seized his wrist. Not yet, she breathed. She breathed in his ear. She might not be gone yet. Hagrid seemed to be thinking the same way. And he stumped across the room and pulled back the curtain in answer to "She's going back. TER, the castle," he said in a low voice. "Blimey. Inspecting people, is she?" "Yes," said Harry, pulling the cloak off. TRELAWNEYN Potface is on probation already. What sort of thing are you planning to do with us in class?" Hagrid asked Hermione. Oh, don't you worry about that. I have got a, a great load of lessons planned, said Hagrid, enthusiastically, scooping up his dragon steak from the table and slapping it over his eye again. "I have been keeping a couple of creatures safe for ya, for your OWL. Yeah, yeah, you wait. They are something really special. EM ERM special in what way?" asked Hermione tentatively. "Nothing," said Hagrid happily. I don't want TER spoil the surprise look, Hagrid," said Hermione urgently, dropping all pretense. "Professor Umbridge won't be at all happy if you bring anything to class that's too dangerous. That's too dangerous. Dangerous," said Hagrid, looking genially bemused. "Don't be silly. I wouldn't give ya anything dangerous. I mean, all right, they can look after themselves, Hagrid. You have got to pass Umbridge's inspection, and to do that, it would really be better if she saw you teaching us how to look after PORLOCKS, how to tell the difference between KNARLS and HEDGEHOGS. Stuff like that, said Hermione, honestly. "But that's not very interesting, Hermione," said Hagrid. The stuff I have got much more impressive. I have been bringing them on for years. I reckon I have got the only domestic heart in Britain. Hagrid, please," said Hermione, a note of real disposition in her voice. Umbridge is looking for any excuse to get rid of teachers she thinks are too close to Dumbledore. "Please, Hagrid, teach us something dull that's bound to come up in our OWL." But Hagrid merely yawned widely and cast a one-eyed look of longing toward the vast bed in the corner. "Listen, it's been a long day, and it's late," he said, patting Hermione gently on the shoulder so that her knees gave way and hit the floor with a thud. "Oh, sorry." He pulled her back up by the neck by the neck of her robe. Look, don't you go worrying about me. I promise ya. I have got really good stuff planned for your lessons. Now I am back. Now you Lord had better get back up to the castle and don't forget TER wipe wipe YER footprints out behind the I don't know if you got through to him to one a short while later. When, having checked that the coast was clear, they walked back up to the castle through the thickening snow, leaving no trace behind them due to the obliteration charm Hermione was performing as they went. Then I will go back again tomorrow, said Hermione, determined, determined mindedly. I will plan his lessons for him if I have to. I don't care if she throws out TRELAWAWNEY, but she's not taking Hagrid. Okay, that's the end of chapter 20. Okay, bye bye.